Hello guys and welcome to another video. So, with the recent release of Tears of the Kingdom, I've gone back to dust off my 3 to 4 year old Switch Lite after not really using it during the COVID times. So this is my day one Switch Lite that I bought as an easy budget, friendly way to play Pokemon Shield at the time, and it has served me well for on-the-go gaming. However, after using the Steam Deck for the past couple of months, I have decided to retire the Switch Lite and upgrade to an OLED model, and there are a couple of reasons why I did so let's get into it. Now, there are some things that I love about the Switch Lite, even after when upgrading. When it comes to the Switch, I am still predominantly a handheld player, so it was really hard to convince me to upgrade in the first place because I didn't really see what the problem was with the Lite. I still think the unibody design of the Lite is bar none the best looking Switch out of all the others, and without the Joy-Con rails and stuff, it feels the most secure to hold. The smaller form factor makes it great to toss in a small bag or even a jacket pocket, and having less clicky buttons and a actual D-pad also make it feel more like a traditional controller than the clicky Joy-Cons do. Also, the big thing, it's the price. At $200 or less, the Lite still marks an excellent value proposition with all of the available games on the system. And for portable focused gaming folks, I think this is still one of the best valued handheld consoles around. With that being said though, ever since getting the Steam Deck, it has really opened my eyes on some of the Lite's major deficiencies, and to be honest, it's more of a you have to experience it to understand kind of deal. Let me explain. Let's first talk about the screen. I use my Steam Deck mainly for single player games and RPGs, and going back to the smaller screen on the Lite to play Tears really opened my eyes on how cramped the screen size can be for games not optimized for the smaller display. My eyesight isn't even the best to begin with, and the downgrade in screen size from the deck is immediately noticeable. Probably even more than I even expect it to be, really. Without any UI scaling options, the text and map icons are sometimes so small to the point where I sometimes have to squint my eyes to play. And even when it comes to just gameplay, sometimes it becomes difficult for me to aim or locate distant areas and where I'm headed. It just feels more difficult to play these tiles on the Lite, and honestly, if it wasn't for the deck, I probably would never have known this. Speaking of feel though, ergonomics also come into the question. I was hesitant initially by how much larger the size of the deck was and how much space it could fit inside a bag, but as large as the deck can be for a portable console, it feels extremely comfortable to play and game on. It grips my hands almost perfectly, and playing on it feels great for hours without feeling any fatigue. Meanwhile, going to the Switch Lite, even with some grip cases, feels cramped and uncomfortable to hold, which is quite interesting since I never really noticed the small size until after using a larger handheld. By the way, by no means do I have super large hands, but the size of the deck just feels way more fitting for my hands. Alongside that, being able to play PC games either at my desk or TV or on the go with my Steam Deck made me realize how I sort of would like to dock my Switch now. Now obviously the Lite is not meant for dock play, but having flexibility is important because who knows down the line what you want to do with your hardware. Now, for the most part, the Switch OLED basically remedies a lot of these problems. First of all, the upgraded screen. It is noticeably larger, and playing all these larger titles on it compared to the Switch Lite's 5.5-inch display really makes a difference. It's much easier to read text, and you can notice smaller details easier. I wouldn't say it's more immersive per se, but it makes playing games, to be honest, a lot more pleasant and a lot easier, especially with that beautiful colorful OLED display. There are some other things, such as the larger form factor being a little more comfortable to grip in the hands, though by default nowhere as good as the deck in my opinion, and the ability to dock obviously is there. However, another big thing that I never really noticed from the Switch Lite and even the Steam Deck is battery life. This OLED Switch is an absolute tank when it comes to lasting off the charger. Watching videos, I wasn't really convinced of the battery life people have been saying being that much better, but using it, I was honestly shocked at how good it was compared to the Lite. I usually get double or more hours compared to the Lite on the same games, which is nothing to sneeze at. This improved battery life actually helps the Switch OLED feel much more portable, funny enough, than the Lite, because it's less reliant on wall chargers or power banks on heavy portable gaming sessions, which is kind of interesting. Now, for the stuff I will miss with the Lite with its design and smaller size, honestly, the OLED Switch has surprised me in so many ways with how many upgrades it has, from the screen size to the battery life, along with some other things, such as easier and more versatile options for multiplayer, more base storage, and replaceable Joy-Cons. And if it wasn't for the Steam Deck, honestly, I probably would have never even considered purchasing it in the first place. And I think that's really the big takeaway. I still think the Switch Lite is fantastic, and for a lot of people with its $200 price point, or maybe it's a secondary device for a kid, I still think it's a perfectly fine portable system. But once you go open your horizons to devices like the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, or even like an iPad for mobile gaming, all these tablets and devices with larger displays, once you get used to it, man, it's so hard to play on anything smaller for hours. Especially with how Nintendo's library is nowadays, I feel like if you're gonna play anything outside of like Animal Crossing and Pokemon, upgrading the Switch or just purchasing a OLED Switch felt actually necessary to comfortably play them all. And honestly, I think for those looking to heavily play portably, it is honestly, in my opinion, the better option than the Lite. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Now, this is a more opinion-based piece, so if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments if you love your Switch Lite. I still love it, but man, the OLED Switch really has surprised me. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.